One of the major themes that I talk to confirmands about, that I talk in adult education classes about, I honestly talk about a lot, is sort of literalism and the problems with it, okay? And I will go through and I'll debunk literalism and all these sorts of things, but people will often come back and say, okay, Pastor, I get it. Literalism can't be literal, because you can't actually be literal with the Bible. Even the best literalists can't resolve some of the conflicts or some of the sort of things in there, particularly when you get into the Old Testament, okay? They'll say, but what is it that we offer that's different? And what we offer that's different, is it better? I'd say, yes. See, literalists promote this idea, the sort of evangelical, non-denominational world will promote this idea that they are like super Christians, because they hold the Bible literally and they follow all the rules, right? And you should follow all the rules too if you want to be a super Christian. And unfortunately, what this has done in society is a lot of folks, particularly if you're unchurched, will look at an evangelical, go, dude, you guys are really shallow. The Bible's just a set of sort of sometimes ridiculous rules, according to you folks. And if they're just like you guys, but the light version, I don't want anything to do with any of y'all. But see, the problem is we're not the light version. Mainline Protestants who will talk about context and the historicity and talk about metaphor and simile, when we read the Bible, we simply find a lot more there. It's not watered down. What waters it down is the literalism, because so much of the truth in the Bible is beyond literal. Today's Ephesian passage is a great chance to show why and how that is. So let's dig into Ephesians today with an eye towards how would a literalist look at it and how do we look at it. So feel free, if you have a bulletin, to look at it right now, like actually look at that Ephesians passage. So the literalist, we'll start off with their view, because their view is quick and easy to understand. The literalist is going to come out there and they're going to say, folks, there's a great word in there, great churchy word, debauchery. You know what causes debauchery? Drinking. Or maybe it's drunkenness because, Southern Baptists, we like to have our beers at home by ourselves. See, here's the thing. They'll focus on that one line, and depending on which literal view you're looking at, please understand that in quotations as a dig against them, they're going to say either you shouldn't drink ever, okay, because alcohol is evil, or they'll caveat it and say, getting drunk is evil. So don't drink too much. Okay? Again, how can it be literal if you guys can't even agree? But if you think about it, that either interpretation only deals with a single line of a whole paragraph. Like, it doesn't address any of this wisdom discussion, any of this time is evil discussion, doesn't address why is the answer to drinking praising the Lord? How does that keep you from drinking? See, they've reduced the Bible, they've reduced that paragraph to a line, and they've made the Bible far more simple, far more shallow than it really is. So let's dig into the paragraph. When you start the paragraph, it has a really funny way it starts. It doesn't start talking about drinking or debauchery or anything fun. It starts by talking about, first and foremost, live your life with wisdom. Okay? Don't live your life with foolishness, right? Then it moves on to tell you that time is evil, right? Straight up calls it evil in there. Let's stop there for a moment, because that's our context. Folks, time is pretty darn evil. Does not matter what you use that moment for, that moment is gone. The days will keep ticking, and while you may be able, through different forms of health and taking care of yourself, extend your life a little longer, death comes for all of us eventually. And that's awful. It's also reality. Time is pretty darn evil. It's the most unforgiving thing ever. You waste an afternoon, you can't get that afternoon back, right? So, what it's doing is it's saying, folks, when you live your life with wisdom. Don't foolishly waste your time. Because time is unforgiving. Now, you don't have to be a theologian to say that, right? Then it moves towards the drunkenness, right? Like that's sort of what it addresses next. It then responds to the drunkenness statement with, instead of being drunk, go out into your community, sing hymns together, glorify the Lord, go be with your friends, basically, right? Because all the things it says are things you do with people, right? You can't sing a hymn by yourself or it's a solo and isn't a hymn anymore, right? And I don't know about you, me singing by myself sounds nowhere near as good as all of us singing together. What it's getting at as a solution is not answering the problem if the problem is simply alcohol. It, however, is answering the problem if there's a deeper thing it's addressing when it says drunkenness. Maybe it's not drunkenness in just the literal drinking sense. It could be. When you are drunk, you're not fully there. You're not fully you, right? You're some version of you, but you're not totally there. The last thing you want if you are drunk is to have someone come up to you and seek out your wisdom and advice, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be your best self. Right? Because you're not fully present when drunk. When you're not fully present, you're also not really living your life, are you? See, I think the drunkenness has to do with a question we should always ask ourselves, but not just about alcohol, but about all sorts of things. The question is, are you present? Are you showing up for your own life? Now, there's lots of ways to not do that, right? Drunkenness is one way to not do that. For example, if you cannot get through your day without a drink at the end of it, okay, you have a problem. Now, that problem might be the drink. Maybe you're an alcoholic. But the problem could also be you hate your life because your job is awful. Either way, if you can't get through the day without a drink, something's really wrong, right? And you should really stop and think that. But this doesn't just apply to alcohol, it applies to all sorts of things, because I could switch out alcohol and I could say that if I asked you to go a week without being on social media, if you cannot do that, or if you can't put your cell phone down for a week and not have it give you like heart palpitations, your relationship with that cell phone or with social media is problematic at best, right? I could switch out social media and go for something more classic like cigarettes. I can switch out cigarettes and go for something less classic like video games. I can switch out video games and you follow the game here, right? There's lots of ways in which we can escape our life. Now, it's not necessarily that that drink is bad. It's not necessarily that the drunkenness is bad. It's not necessarily that the video game is bad or that your phone is bad or any of those. They may not be the problem. It's not bad to have a drink every so often. Why? Because maybe it's fun. And having fun in life is fine. Just like it's okay to play a video game, be on your cell phone, or have some time with social media. But it's about having the right relationship with each one of those things. Because all those things have a potential where they cease being a release from a hard day and start to become a crutch to escape life. And when you pass that line between a fun activity you do occasionally and something you gotta have to make it through the day, you've gone from living life to trying to escape it. And time is evil, man. Every day you escape is a day you lose. You're never getting that day back. Every day you're not fully present with those around you is a day you're not getting back. There's nothing I can do about it, nothing you can do about it. The day is gone when the day is gone. When the sun sets, it's gonna rise, but it's a new day. None of us gets Groundhog Day. One person got my movie reference. Thank you, Kelly. Here's the thing. The solution to making sure we don't just survive life, but live life, is to find community. Find friends. Find those who rejoice and love who God made you to be, who push you to be the best version of you, who push you to glorify God in all that you do by being that best version of you. Nothing is better about living life than sitting in a room full of people who love you, be them family or friends or other. Because that's what life's about, is that connection, that moment where everyone who loves each other are fully there. And time is evil. Because those moments, they come. But as quickly as they come, they go. And there's no going back, because when someone passes, you don't see them again till heaven. Here's the thing. The literalist has taken this beautiful discussion about how we spiritually can engage in our own life, can go ahead and deepen our friendships, help our community, build community within church, outside in our greater community, however you do it, so that you can show up for your own life and in doing that glorify God in what you do. A deep discussion that I think hits everyone here because, man, we all struggle with it, right? It tries to reduce it to an issue about prohibition, maybe, drunkenness, perhaps. Like, drunkenness ain't good. That's a way of escaping your life. But if you limit it to that, you're ignoring the needs of most people. Most of us can go without alcohol. Most of us don't wander around drunk all day. Hopefully. I had a few people doubting me over in this end. So I say hopefully. Unless I'm wrong about that, then please talk to me later. But most of us have had that moment in our life where we struggle with that thing that helps us escape a life we're too scared to address, a sadness we're too scared to confront, an anger we're too scared to deal with, a broken relationship we don't know how to mend. This week, take some time in your prayer life and ask yourself, first, are you living your life or are you trying to escape it? If you find you're trying to escape it, no matter what that means of escape might be, take some time and work out how you can get over whatever that fear is. Pray to God for the strength and sobriety of mind to look for help if that is what you need, to look for community if that's what you need, to re-engage a relationship if that's what you need, so you can get away from simply wasting time foolishly trying to escape the gift God gave you in life, and engage fully in who God wants you to be.